USRA Tuners out on the track for their 20-lap feature. 30 entries made their way in here to Lucas Oil Speedway, and they will go 20 time around to name a Nationals champion here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Get the starting grid set up for you as they're going to go 3 wide with all of the entries that have made their way here. And on the pole out of Enid, Oklahoma, it's the 16W of the Candyman, Dylan Whitley. He will be inside. In the middle is Alan Thompson out of Fairgrove, Missouri. And to his outside, it's the 28 of Braden Schaffenbuhl from New Hampton, Iowa. He sits number 3 in the USRA National Point Standings.
On the inside from Colmer, Iowa, the 38, that's Dalton Fells, in the middle, Justin Converse, the C49. And to the outside, the 21J, that's Jason Weber from Enid, Oklahoma.
Back in row 3 from Camdenton, Missouri, the 6R of Dustin Reeves. Randy Martin from Springtown, Texas in the number 8. And then picking up 5 wins at Sports Park as well as Hamilton County, it's Tyler Crimmins from Fort Dodge, Iowa.
For Mentmore, New Mexico, on the inside of row number 3, that's Dennis Consons, the 3rd. In the middle from Bolivar, Missouri, the 9T, that's Robert Tosh. And on the outside, Wichita Falls, Texas driver, the 18C, that's Aaron Ryan.
He sits number 1 of the USRA National Point Standings from Castalia, Iowa. It's Brad Stahl in the 35. The leader of the points at Lake Ozark is David Kirkpatrick in the 64, and then Oliver Munson in the 5 from Thornton, Iowa.
Row 6 finds the 1 of Aaron Bliss, the 3M of Bobby Mooney, and the 23 of Nick Bradshaw from Lebanon, Missouri.
You were born to be behind the wheel when your first name is Racer. Racer Costello, the number 24, will start inside this row, with the middle being Travis Bockover and Alex Scarlett to the outside from Willard in the 32S.
Row number 8 on the inside from Lynn Creek, Missouri. The 80 is Jim Cook. Into the middle row, the 75 of Stephen C. And on the outside, Matt Harvey from Carrier, Oklahoma.
And then on that final row, Katie Stahl and Stephanie Sharp, 2 ladies back on the very final row behind the Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace Truck, a mainstay. Here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks, lights are on top of the truck as they come around one final time before they come back to life. The truck will move to the high side over in turns 1 and 2. Glad to have everyone along for our final night of the 10th annual USRA Summit Nationals here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Cars will take formation on the backstretch, stacked side by side, 3 wide. Yellow light will stay out one final time before we get the green. And the Candyman, Dylan Whitley, on the front row, the pilot of the 16W, is out of Enid, Oklahoma, and this tuner group has a large contingency of drivers from the Enid area, 6 by my count, all within about a 7-mile span. They all run over in northwestern Arkansas or northwestern Oklahoma and a variety of tracks around there, and they are the mainstays whenever it comes to the tuner class.
Here we go, 3 wide, everybody trying to snug up. We'll get to these guys and gals racked and stacked. Caution lights are off. Dylan Whitley on the pole, he sets the pace. Green flag is out, we're underway. The cylinders, the 4 cylinders, half the cylinder, twice the fun. Tuners coming to life. Gonna crown a champion here as Whitley takes the race lead, but he's got a challenge. Look at this, here comes the old C49, Justin Converse down to the inside. Everybody getting through the corners pretty good as they work off turn number 4.
You know, we're used to seeing 18 and 19-second laps from some of the modifieds and B-mods and late models. These USRA tuners turn around 21-second laps. There's not a ton of speed, but you can't really find a more affordable class. Talking to some of the drivers, ask them why they decided to get into this class. It's just simply because of the funds. It's fun, but because of the funds as well. Does not take a lot of money to run in these classes, and it's a great introductory class.
It is a great introductory class. You know, a lot of these guys can't go out and afford a $40,000 race car, but this is a way that they can get involved. And speaking of getting involved, Justin Converse still battling down to the inside. Randy Martin down there as well, but Whitley, the race leader, a good battle up front in the tuners.
Captain Universe is out of Texarkana, Arkansas. That's Justin Converse in the C49. He was a 12-time winner this year. Picked up 6 victories at Diamond Park. Also won a couple of times at Arklatex. Won a couple of times at Texarkana 67 Speedway, and he is a 4-time champ there at 67.
Pretty even matched cars up front here as the top 4 all right there. Whitley, the race leader, Converse, Martin, and Schaffenbuhl, the top 4. The first three are really close. Throw a blanket over them. Taking a look back further in the field, everybody making it through good, but right up front, Whitley has a challenge to the inside. Converse and Randy Martin took a peek as well.
Randy Martin in that number 8. He was looking to the inside. That's the professor out of Springtown, Texas. Picked up 21 wins this year. He won last night in the preliminary race. He's picked up victories at Kennendale, Abilene, Boyd, Southern Oklahoma, and RPM.
Look at this, a race lead change. Justin Converse slides up to the catbird seat. Randy Martin going to slide down into that second spot. We're 3 wide for the race lead as Martin challenges the inside of Converse.
Side by side, you can't put more than a slice of paper between those two cars, and the nose out in front goes to Randy Martin in the 8, but answering on the outside is Converse, and right behind him, Dylan Whitley, who opened up the race with a couple of laps led. He's going to tag the C49. Great car control by Converse to be able to keep it underneath him as they all stay straight, but Randy Martin is going to capitalize after that contact as he's out by 4 car lengths.
Look at this, we're getting into lap traffic already for the race leader. Converse around the lap car as well, Whitley behind them, but out front in the number 8, Randy Martin now opens up a pretty large gap. Converse going to try to run him down in the 49, but you can see Randy Martin working the bottom side of the speedway. He's got that line figured out.
As we get down towards the end of the season, Brad Stahl, we mentioned, leads the points, and he's got it by well over 100 points over Justin Converse. Braden Schaffenbuhl is here. Trenton Wilson was supposed to be here in the 4T. He did not make the trip to the Nationals, so the top 3 in the point standings are all here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Brad Stahl has a lot of work to do, but he's got a big gap whenever it comes to the point standings.
You see Oliver Munson skeeting into the picture there in car number 5. You got some good stats on Oliver to talk about.
What a way for him to start the season. He won 17 of his first 23 races. He would have won his first 10, but he got DQ'd in one of those races. He also got DQ'd here, by the way, so he got to get some ice cream at Dairy Queen a couple of times this year.
Well, speaking of Oliver Munson, take a look at it now. He's working the outside groove of the raceway. He is going to move up beside the 21. Here we go, Oliver Munson going to move up into the top 4. He is the man on the mission right now. He started back in that 15th position, I believe.
He runs up at one of your tracks. His nickname's Black Flag. Why is his nickname Black Flag?
We've had some incidences. Let's just say that Oliver's a good kid. They're just a competitor, a great race car driver, and now he's challenging the 16W of Dylan Whitley. Look at this, Oliver Munson and Whitley side by side. Munson slams the door shut, takes the position over. He's going to move into P3 from the 15th spot.
So he is the hard charger by far, as he is up into 3rd right now. Randy Martin is 2.5 ahead of Justin Converse, but Oliver Munson is on the move. He needs the help of a Boone's Barbecue caution. I don't think we're going to get it with as far spread out as everybody is right now. The race being dominated by that man right there and Randy Martin.
They have a good shot of Randy Martin on there, and if you watch it, he drives it hard enough into the corner. He picks up that left rear tire off the ground. A great shot there of him picking up that left rear tire. He has got some bite in that 8 machine and working it,
Usually it's the left front you see up off the surface.
Yeah, we got to reverse everything with the front-wheel drive cars out there.
A peek at the 33 of Dennis Cousins, DW, in that red ride, a 6-time winner, 5 times at Sandia, and he was the champ at Sandia this past season.
Oh, Munson sliding in front of Converse. That's your position battle for number 2 with 4 to go. Converse battles back down on the inside. The Monsoon, Oliver Munson around the top side. Look at this. They're slicing, dicing, working the lap traffic here as Munson works back down to the inside.
Boy, and DW got real slow on that last lap. Just a handful of laps left, winding down. 17 complete of our 20-lap A main, and Converse able to hold on to that spot.
Oh, no. Here we go. Caution comes out. Caution comes out.
And that is over in turn number 4, the car that was slowed. We talk about Dennis Cousins in the 33 out of Gallup, New Mexico. He is slowed on the track. Hobby Time Motorsports Safety Crew started to go over to him, but he gets back underway. and continues to roll down the track. Shouldn't take long at all to get these cars all back in formation because everybody was extremely spread out. And DW might have gotten booted. His bumper is dragging the backside.
That right rear tire on that machine leaning off pretty hard. I don't know if he took a shot on the outside, but that, well, it's not a drive axle, I guess. It's just back there keeping him steady, but you can see the smoke, the tire probably giving a little bit of a tire rub there on the body. But Randy Martin had a 3.2 second lead over Justin Converse and Oliver Munson, and guess what? Those two guys are going to start right up behind him now as that gap has shrunk. Randy Martin might have some company in this one.
Randy Martin won on Friday in one of the preliminary races that we had a ton of preliminary races as this entire event went along with all 5 classes. This being the more introductory class out of the group. We've got the hobby stocks as well, and then some of the big heavy hitters, the B-mods, the stock cars, and the modifieds, all on tap for you here from the Nationals in Wheatland, Missouri. 3rd time it's been here to the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. 10th year overall. The United States Racing Association has had a national event like this. Almost 270 cars all came through at one point in time. First year it was here, had around 300 cars. This is kind of one of the centrally located tracks that the USRA runs at. They have a ton of tracks up to the north, dip all the way down into Texas, over into New Mexico. A handful of drivers have made their way from long distances, all the way up in the Dakotas, New Mexico, Texas, to make their way here to Wheatland for this big 5-day event.
It's been fantastic. Not only drivers, promoters from all of our USRA tracks in the house as well. They're getting treated by My Race Pass up in the promoter's booth. Get a good view of the festivities as we crown our USRA national champions. The first one to get crowned is coming up here shortly as we have 17 of 20 laps down. Randy Martin, the race leader, Oliver Munson, and Justin Converse going to double up behind him. Then we have Jason Weber and Dylan Whitley. That's your top 5 on the screen right now. As the caution lights go down, Randy Martin going to be bringing them back to the green flag.
Brad Stahl, your current point leader in the national scene for the United States Racing Association, up to 6th right now.
Here we go. Caution lights are off. Green flag is up. Look at that. Munson got a good start, then fell to the back. Now a little bit of bumping, grinding, and we have a yard sale in turn number 1 and 2, and we're not upside down.
Well, almost. Nick Bradshaw out of Lebanon in the 23 comes storming into that mix. The 56 involved in that as well. That's the Gator, Katie Stahl. The C49 of Converse was up in that lead pack. They got all squirrely up in the top 5, and the red flag is going to be shown as the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew comes out, tends to all of the carnage on the track as this melee over in turn 2.
I tell you, that kind of all started on the restart. Oliver Munson might have got a little bit too good of a start, had to slow down, picked it back up as they worked down into turn number 1, and it all went downhill from there.
Number of cars all spun to avoid. One other big car that took a large hit is down on the inside. As this all started on the original start, Munson dropped down to the inside, then drifted up on the track. He lost all sorts of traction, and then up the track he goes, runs into the 21, and that's where it all got started. And then you see the end result. Boy, Nick Bradshaw nearly got rolled in that 23, but he was able to stay on all 4. So a lot of activity going on in turn number 2 as the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew tends to all the cars out on the track. Again, for everybody watching on Race and Dirt, going to take a couple of momentary pauses here as the evening goes along. We're also recording this for a later broadcast on MAV TV. You see all of the action still going on over in turn number 2. Katie Stahl, who was running towards the back of that pack, was involved in that. And your heart really has to go out for Justin Converse right now. He was securely up, running in the top 3, got involved in a mess that was really none of his doing, and looked as though his night was done. He was having a chance for a big day here at Lucas Oil Speedway, but it all goes for naught in the closing 3 laps.
Well, Whitley was up in there as well, that 16W, and he was up front from the get-go. I mean, battling up there for the race lead. You just hate to see that, a big pile up of cars. We'll try to get things squared away. We'll see how many cars we lose out of this, see how many can continue on.
And as you can see on Race and Dirt right now, they are, at least on the front stretch, getting everybody back in formation. That way, when they get it cleared up, they can go green as quickly as possible, get this back underway. You see the 56 there of Katie Stahl. And there are a lot of Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew workers and rigs here, but
not that many.
4 or 5 that all need assistance from a hook. Going to take a little while for them to get these cars taken off the track again. The first of 5 features here for our Nationals. Hobby stocks will roll out next. Then we'll have the B-mods, stock cars, and the modifieds. 50 laps for the modifieds, 40 laps for the stock cars, 35 for the B-mods, and 30 for the hobby stocks. We still got a long night ahead of us, bro.
Did you do the quick math on that?
No, I don't want to do the math.
That's 155 laps remaining.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Plus the 3 we have left in this one, if there are no cautions. That's green flag laps. Hey, I haven't added up how many laps I've called on the races this week down here, but it's been a lot.
The abacus does not have enough beads.
I lost count. Fingers and toes ran out, so we're having a good time, though. It's always good to be here at the Lucas Oil Speedway.
Yeah, even after they get all the cars off the track, there's still some work that has to be done to the track. See them bringing some dry dirt out already. Lots of moisture put down from these cars that had heavy, heavy damage.
Yeah, then we'll get these guys to run through that a couple laps. It looks like we're getting close here. We got Converse's car going to get pushed. Jason Purvis going to go down there with his four-wheeler, see if we can't give Converse a shove. We got the wrecker hooked up to the stall machine. Look at that. That right there is physics.
That 8 degrees of banking goes downhill real quick.
Yeah. Converse makes it to the infield. Pretty excited to see who we're going to crown. Doug Neff will be down in victory lane to have a word with each one of our feature winners and present them with their hardware. Haven't checked in on the old fantasy racing on my race pass yet. I don't know how well I'm doing, but might make it a mystery at the end of the night.
Can you make it back-to-back nights?
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Have you ever done that, Chris?
You might get a shirt and a hat if you get back-to-back nights. Or a koozie.
Oh, that is true. A koozie.
Which is being put to good use right now. Car's back underway. Yellow flag back in the air here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Shane Freeby, Brian Dinikus up in the booth as you see some of the cars getting pushed to the infield after a big incident. Boy, hate that for Nick Bradshaw as well. He was able to stay on all fours, nearly got up on his side, and his night is done for the Lebanon, Missouri native, sponsored by Rico Abreu Racing.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. He has developed a good relationship with Rico. Obviously, he is a little man from Lebanon that has, over the last few years, gotten to know Rico extremely well. He has decided to put some sponsorship on the side of the 23 for the champion from Midway last year. He was also the I-44 Speedway Hornets champion back in 2020.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Going to go through the dirt over in turn 2, make sure it's nice and packed in. Try to dry up as much of that moisture as they can. We've only got 3 laps left, Bud. And Randy Martin, now that he has gotten out in front, the challenge came from Jason Weber, and all of that kind of got started whenever he got into the mix. Justin Converse is now out. Oliver Munson, he's dropped back a couple of spots.
Oh, no, that is Crimmins. I believe Oliver Munson has been asked to exit the stage. So the 15, that black and yellow car on that third row back, that is Tyler Crimmins from Fort Dodge, Iowa. So Munson no longer out on the speedway. I think he got showed the old bad dog, no biscuit.
Well, call him black flag for a reason, I guess.
Yeah. Here we go, Randy Martin back on the noisemaker, bringing him back to the green flag. Weber on the inside. Then we have the old 63. David Kirkpatrick on the outside, going to move into that second spot. Randy Martin, the race leader. Heading down into turn number 4. Kirkpatrick, though, coming along for the ride in that second spot. 2 to go this time by the flag stick.
Boy, what a run for Kirkpatrick. He started back in 14th.
Came from a B main there, I believe. Look at that battle shaping up back in the pack. Costello, Racer Costello. As Randy Martin now taking the white flag. Martin around the top side of the speedway, heads down the back chute for the final time. All his hopes and dreams to become the USRA national champion lie in front of him. 2 more left-hand turns up on the top side. Here he goes. Points are the right direction down the front stretch. Double flags are out. Randy Martin picking up the feature win on the night of the finales at the USRA Nationals at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Randy Martin crowned your champion.
A 1.2 second win over David Kirkpatrick, who started from 14th, works all the way up to 2nd. Jason Weber, Dustin Reeves, and Racer Costello, your top 5. Looking down all the way through your top 10, Bliss, Fells, Aaron Ryan. Stephanie Sharp started deep in the field, gets up to 10th. Then it's Cookie, Jim Cook in 11th. And the rest of the runners here for the 27-car field here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks. And the win goes to the pilot of the number 8, Randy Martin.